Hello, everyone. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, and we have YouTube here. So if you see me looking this way, that's who I'm talking to. Instagram, we are up here. So I'll also be looking in both places. If you don't know, hey, Billy Be Kind, we are going over, hey, Esme, we're going over the mastery of love. It's like one of the most maybe impactful books that I read when I was learning about relationships and what relationships truly should look like. And a lot of the times we have been taught to just go into certain relationships, modeling what we've seen based off of society conditioning, TV, all sorts of things. And a lot of times we carry these patterns and these paradigms that we were brought up with into these relationships. And because they're not healthy, we wonder why we can't form these more intimate, more meaningful bonds with everyone. And so this book kind of explains what love truly is so that you, number one, first and foremost, learn how to love yourself. But secondly, learn how love looks in the various relationships that you find yourself in. That doesn't mean with an intimate partner. That's only one relationship, right? Some of you are parents, some of you are daughters, wives, all of that kind of stuff. So there's all different relationships, and they all require you to meet people where they are and love them where they are, but also love yourself where you are. And I think that we struggle with that, and we wonder why things don't look the way that we want them to. So if you have the same book that I have, we are now on page 69. And again, what we're going to be talking about, what this is going over, is what does true love look like. So for those of you that are new to this concept, I usually read a little bit of the book and then put things in my own words just to help you understand it a little bit better. At the same time, the replays are up. So if you find that you like this information and you want to dive a little bit deeper or get caught up, if you want to see all of the videos from the playlist for this book, the previous books that we did, which is The Power of Now and Atomic Habits, you can find that on my YouTube channel. I've separated this into playlists. For those of you that like to listen while you're on your commute to work, once I finish these, about a day or two later, sometimes the same day, I upload the replay audio to a podcast so you can listen to it in that format. But let's go ahead and get started at any time. You can ask questions, you can make comments. I want this to be interactive. And this is a time where maybe if you don't have access to a coach of your own and you just want some support and want answers to questions, then I'm here for you. This is why I'm here, not just to read to you, but also to make myself available to help you. All right, so in the track of love, you are giving more than taking. And of course, you love yourself so much that you don't allow selfish people to take advantage of you, right? A lot of the times we get mad at other people because they take advantage of us. And we wonder why, if we wouldn't take advantage of other people, why do some of the people in our lives take advantage of us? I did a lot of studies, a lot of lives, a lot of classes about this over the past few months. One about self-love. There's a self-love challenge. You can get all the replays if you want to go through that challenge on your own. And then number two, I talked a lot about boundaries in relationships and empathy and why you're doing empathy wrong and how to truly understand how to hold empathy in your relationships. And so all of that information is inside of my personal mastery membership. But we get mad at other people when they take advantage of us. Hi, Rotunda. However, when you love yourself, and if you love yourself at a certain level, you're not allowing selfish people to take advantage of you. You're not going for revenge, but you are clear in your communication. You can say things like, I don't like it when you try to take advantage of me, or when you disrespect me, or when you're unkind to me. I don't need someone to abuse me verbally, emotionally, physically. I don't need to hear you cursing all the time. It's not that I'm better than you, it's because I love beauty. That's deep, right? How many of you are in relationships where you lack boundaries? And so the person that you're in a relationship with is constantly encroaching on you, and maybe you don't notice what it is that they do, but maybe energetically you just feel that the energy of someone in your life does not meld well with yours. But instead of openly being able to communicate, what you don't like about the relationship or what you would like to change, you continue to allow and put up with it. And I like what he says here when he says, it's not that I'm better than you, it's just that I love beauty. So, how many of you are allowing these relationships to continue in the manner that I just described, and therefore not allowing that beauty to come into your life and into your relationships? I love to laugh. I love to have fun. I love to love. It's not that I'm selfish. I just don't need a big victim near me. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you, but I cannot take responsibility for your dream. We talked about this Thursday. If some of you are thinking that part of being in love with somebody is realizing the potential in them and wanting to bring them along on their path to realize their dream, why that may not be love. So he says, but I cannot take responsibility for your dream. If you are in a relationship with me, it will be so hard for your parasite. And we talked about that like at the beginning of this, because I will not react to your garbage at all. How many of you can say that? How many of you can say that to your mom that may be bringing garbage in your life, your dad, your husband, your wife, your kids, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is, your boss? You just don't allow garbage in your life, right? This is not selfishness to talk to somebody, to set boundaries, to communicate what you are going to accept versus not going to accept in your life. This is a form of self love. And again, a lot of you that watch this, you went through the self-love challenge. And in those 5 days, you had some phenomenal breakthroughs about healing yourself, loving yourself, connecting with what it means to truly be authentic in your love of yourself. And a lot of times, a lot of the problems that you have in your relationship doesn't stem from you picking the wrong person or somebody taking advantage of you. It stems back to your inability to communicate what it is that you want and need in a relationship. And a lot of times it's because there is a lack of self love. Selfishness, control, and fear will break up almost any relationship. Generosity, freedom, and love will create the most beautiful relationship and ongoing romance. To master a relationship is all about you. And the first step is to become aware and to know that everyone dreams their own dream. Once you know this, you can be responsible for your half of the relationship, which is you. You're responsible for only yourself in your relationships. If you know that you're only responsible for half of the relationship, you can easily control your half, right? It is not up to us to control the other half, the other person that we're in the relationship with. If we respect, we know that our partner or our friend or our son or our mother is completely responsible for his or her own half. And if we respect the other half, there's always going to be peace in that relationship. There is no war. And this is interesting because a lot of people think that being in a relationship with someone, whether all the different relationships that I've explained, that entails you having to put up with some sort of drama or trauma or strife, and it doesn't. Because if you're in truly respectful and loving relationships, most of the time, all of the time, there's always going to be peace, because the people that you choose to be in a relationship with will be who they are. You will be responsible for yourself. And at the same time, if you're living life in your power place, then you are going to be connected with people that either are subconsciously or consciously want to live life in that power place, or you will impart some sort of benefit to being connected with them, just as they will get a benefit from being connected to you. It's like a mutually beneficial relationship. There is always peace. There is no war. Next, if you know what is love and what is fear. So number one, just to backtrack, I just want to become aware and to know that you can only be responsible for yourself. And so if you want to have optimal relationships, you need to become the best version of yourself. The second thing is, if you know what love is and what fear is, then you will become aware of the way that you communicate your dream to others. The quality of your communication depends on the choices you make in each moment, whether you tune your emotional body to love or to fear. And if you catch yourself in the track of fear, just by having that awareness, you can shift your attention into the track of love. Just by seeing where you are, just by changing your attention, everything around you will change. We talked about this before. There is no secret to you having a better life, having abundance, having better relationships, having material wealth. There is no secret to all of that except being on the track of love. And the way that you stay on the track of love is by learning to live a life of awareness. And how do you learn to live a life of awareness? It's by living in the now. And what is the now? It's your power place. It's when you're living from your soul. You're not living from your emotions. You're not living from your thoughts. You're living from your soul. And again, we've talked about this. It all comes back to the attention. And if anything feels off, because that's what feelings truly are, they're like your barometer, your thermometer to let you know that if you feel a certain way, if you feel triggered, then that is a clue for you to go internal because there's something that is off. It's a clue for you to wake up. It's a clue for you to pay attention. But in that, it's the clue for you to make sure that you start to shift into love. Whenever you feel off, whenever something feels off, the first thing you need to do is shift into awareness and shift into the self. And he's saying the same thing that we talked about for weeks when we studied the power of now. So again, you're starting to see themes that if you want to have this optimal life and you want to share this optimal life with someone that is like-minded, it all comes back to you living from your power place. And if you think that you're going to accomplish this limitless potential that is available to you without living from this power place, then you're going to continuously struggle, or maybe you might start and stop, or maybe you might get to a certain level and then plateau. You're going to continuously be getting in your way and blocking yourself because anything other than living from the power place is creating resistance in your life. All right, so third and final step, he says, finally, if you are aware that no one else can make you happy and that happiness is the result of the love that is coming out of you, this becomes the greatest mastery, the mastery of love. Happiness does not come from anything outside of you. Happiness is the result of the love coming out of you. So again, if you don't understand that, if you don't love yourself, or if you say you love yourself, but you talk bad about yourself, you don't have confidence, all of those things, again, are symptoms of this root cause of just not having 100% love in who you are. And that's where you're going to want to start. If you want the link to take that class, if you're not in the membership and you want the link to take the class, let me know. Ladies, all of you that are in the membership, you got that class as a bonus if you didn't go through it with me at the time, in addition to the other class that I talked about the boundaries. So the ultimate way that you're going to get the most bang for your buck is you just need to join the membership. Okay. So he says, we can talk about love and write 1,000 books about it, but love will be completely different for each of us because we have to experience love. Love is not about concepts. Love is about action. Love and action can only produce happiness. Love and action can only produce happiness. But here's the issue. Most of us are in our relationships and putting fear in action, and that's where that suffering comes from. The only way to master love is to practice love. You don't need to justify your love. You don't need to explain your love. You just need to practice your love. And if you continuously are practicing love, then you become a master at love in your life. So I'm going to stop there. That was the end of chapter 4. Tomorrow we will move into chapter 5, talking about the perfect relationship. Again, what you're going to find is that the themes to these more spiritual, emotionally fulfilling relationships always stem with yourself and always stem with you being in touch with your true soul being and living from that space. And so if it's something that you struggle with or something that you think that you can avoid, or doing the work in order to call in this abundance in your life in other areas, then I want to invite you to pull yourself back and do the work. The best way to do the work, if you want to work with me as your coach, would be to join the personal mastery membership. And if you want to do that, Greg's taking a shower. And if you want to do that, you can go to yashikasintuition.com/links. There's going to be a little round button that you can hit to join the personal mastery membership. And that is where you will get monthly lessons. And I will just guide you through some of the things that you need to do on a month-to-month basis to move forward on your journey, as well as, because we have live Q&As or I pop into our community from time to time, you also have access to me in that way as your coach. There's some of you like me, I prefer to have my coach be there for me, that may want one-on-one coaching. And so if you want to work with me personally to teach you these things, to help guide you in a systematic way so that you can move forward on your journey, then I also have a couple slots open for private coaching. And so if that's something that you're interested in, that same website, yashikasintuition.com/links, will take you to more information about the coaching, or otherwise you can contact me through a DM. There will also be information about the membership or coaching in the description box wherever you are watching this information. We do this most Mondays through Thursdays, same time, same place. So I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care.